So we'll start. Today we'll just go crack into the meditation. So make sure that you've got comfortable seat, comfortable position. If you've got some anxiety or anything like that, just have a little shake. Okay, just lay out if you can. And just give yourself this space to love yourself. So setting aside check how many activities we do are maybe to survive, maybe to get money, to pay rent, for food, anything. And how many things we just do purely for the sake of our own soul. Just for no other reason, for the sake of your own being. So we set this sometimes, this is time for me. It's all the stuff that goes on in your life. I like to make the occasional gamble, once or twice a year. I'll wager £50 that at the end of the meditation, your mind will still be there. And all the things that you usually think about will still be there. And that just because you're not going to think about them for the next 25 minutes, it won't make any difference. So when the thoughts come up in your mind, oh no, you'll think them later. So it's very important that you, before you start a meditation, think, why am I doing it? Yeah. It's advice from most yogis, mystics. Before we start, why am I doing it? And so, for this in particular, this helpful guidance on why we're going to sit down to meditate is to love yourself. It's the foundation of the path. We call it joy. And we might intellectually know that happiness can't be found outside ourselves. That's nice. It's a nice theory. But what we're trying to do in meditation is to realize that that's true. That you are the source of all the joy you've ever been looking for. So we take some time to know it. So have that as your motivation. This is my time to rest inside my being without worrying about anyone else or anything else. Very helpful. Okay. So at the start of this meditation, you put your left hand over your belly and your right hand on top. It's a very important center. You can just feel the warmth and the nourishment that comes from just holding your belly. And breathe deep into your belly. And even feel that you're breathing through your belly. This is one way of connecting with the world around you, through your belly. And try and feel centered, connected, looked after, supported by life. If you weren't supported by life, you would be dead. So it's just pointing out the obvious. You are supported by life. And feel it, the sacredness of the breath. As you breathe deep, in and through your belly. Then feel your connection with your bones. From your connection to the earth. And with each breath, move slowly up your vertebrae. One breath in and out. You move up one vertebrae. Feeling into your body, your solidity, and slowly bringing your awareness up to the center of your chest. And feeling connected to your heart. Connected to the preciousness of your life. Feeling your value, your uniqueness. And up slowly to your throat. Like your awareness is slowly floating on your breath. Higher to the center of your right to speak, to say your truth. And feel relaxed into your being, your expression. And then up to the crown of your head. From here we imagine a hole opens at the crown of our head. And we are connected. And from this space, envision the universe above you. Within it there are countless stars. Envision the stars. and feel drawn to one star, excuse me. Feel drawn to one star above you. And draw in the light from that star, like a beam that enters through your crown and fills your body with light. To the right of this central star, envision another star that also pours light through your hole in the crown chakra and fills your body. And then to the left of this central star, again, envision the light coming into you. And then envision all the countless stars pouring light into your being. When we are filled with light, we then imagine on our crown, imagine closing, but it's like a cork in a bottle. It's shut closed by a lotus flower or a rose. And then bring your hands to your heart. And we say, thank you, Mum. Thank you, Mum. Thank you, Mum. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. Then we think of the forests, the trees and the flowers. And we say, thank you, forests. Thank you, trees. Thank you, earth. Then we bring our heart to the oceans and the water And we say, thank you, oceans. Thank you, rivers. Thank you, water. Then we say thank you to fire. We thank you for heating our homes. Or give thanks to the fires when we're camping. Give thanks to the candlelight. Thank you, fire. Thank you, fire. Then we give thanks to the air. Thank you, air. Thank you, breath. Thank you, breath. Then we give thanks to space for the ability to exist, and thanks to the stars, and thanks to the sun. Thank you, sun. Thank you, moon. And if you have faith in the One, you can give thanks to that which is unnameable. Or we can just say thank you to existence. Just thank you. Thank you. Bring your hands back down to your belly. And again, breathe with thankfulness. Feel the connection to existence. Now don't say the words, just allow me to say them for you. So you just tune into the feeling as you're breathing in have the sense I. And as you breathe out the sense am. I am. I am. A deep knowing and thankfulness of just the sheer joy of existing and breathing. And very gently come back, trying to keep a sense of peace, thankfulness, love. Let me set my alarm for... So I definitely won't talk too much. And we will finish at 8:30. If not before. Is it still working, the camera? So thankfulness is the first stage of the path back to ourselves. So the foundation of spiritual path is joy. That's the first station we reach when we start the path, is joy. And the last station is joy. It's a great mystic, Shantideva, incredible being of beauty, said, I can never become discouraged. I never become discouraged, because my journey goes from joy to joy to joy to joy to joy. This is the spiritual path. So what it means is, if you're unhappy, if you're feeling sad, if you're frustrated, so if you haven't found the spiritual path yet, so it's like that feeling the world shouldn't be like this. There must be more to life. You're right, there is. There's joy and love and peace and wonder and laughter and serenity and on and on. So it should give you hope. So each time that you're not feeling joy, you can recognize, go, oh, this isn't it. This isn't the spiritual path. I'm doing something else, which is fine. But so we know right in the beginning, and that's the foundation stone. It's like the first peg that goes down, joy. Then you know you're on. And joy gives more joy, more joy, more joy. So this is the... So another name for that is thank you. And the thing that doesn't give us joy, say, is the complaining mind. So, is it true or not? Does your complaining mind give you joy? And what's it like if we say thank you? So this is the meditation path, mystic path. So this is something that always has to be tried out for yourself to see if it's true. So you see if it's true when you're miserable, that the way you're thinking and see things is the way things are. And if it is, then go ahead and be miserable, because you've discovered truth. That's the path of truth. So, if you feel that being miserable and horrible and angry is true, go for it. See how far it gets, see how far you get. So generally the two go together, truth and joy. It's our disconnected mind that makes us feel that life's not worth living. But it's the only thing we can control, is to kill ourselves. It's a final act of the ego, isn't it? It's the only thing we think we've got. It's like final defiance, rather than surrender. And that's the power of pride. No matter how miserable we are, we will never admit we're wrong. This is part of understanding our mind. So the thing, one of the things that gets us is complaining. So we can try it. We're going to do two things and do it as a practice. For with this meditation, every meditation is something you do outside when you're off the cushion. This is a meditation my master taught me. So we say this is like Sufi path. Say, thank you. That's it. That's your mantra. To get this first stage of the path, this gratitude, this joy. So when you wake up in the morning, say thank you. Thank you for letting me live and perceive reality. I didn't do it. Check. Did you make yourself exist again? Was there your ego go, right, now I'm going to choose to exist again? No, it just happened. True or not? Examine, is that true or not? Did you make yourself come into existence? Did you? And can you hold on to life? Nope. It's happening. So there's something bigger than your ego that brings you into existence and will take you out of existence as you know it. It's true or not. That phenomenon is pure love. So, how do we not see it? One of the ways we don't see it is we complain all the time. So you check. And so you do this practice. So you wake up, you say, thank you. You go into the kitchen for breakfast and you say, thank you. I've got a kettle. Thank you, Lord. And you plug it in and it's working. Thank you. I've got, the electricity isn't down yet. We don't have to go to the fires. It might be soon. Who knows with the way the world is. You might have to go and chop wood, build a fire to get the hot water. At the moment you don't, you say, thank you. Then, if you have bread or cereal, thank you. Shops could go down any time. But you don't, you've got it. Thank you. And you pick up your cutlery and you say, thank you, I don't have to eat this with my hands. Someone provided this cutlery for me. Someone made it. I can't make cutlery. Can you make cutlery? I can't make cutlery. So if it wasn't for someone else, I wouldn't have it as one. And two, existence is provided for me. Thank you. My ancestors. I didn't do it. I just came along and they'd done it for me. The complaining mind doesn't think like that. It just thinks it should get what it just get. I want this, I want that, I haven't got enough of this. It's insane. When you check your complaining, you're insane. As if you're the only person in the world. Is that true? Are you the only person in the world? And is it true that you're the most important person in the world? Because you can have a seriously strong debate with other people about that. There's probably about 7 billion people who will disagree with you. Then, you may have been in the kitchen naked if you live alone. It's a nice thing. It's a nice time. These times you can just go about naked if you live alone. Nice thing to do. It's healthy. Get your lower centers out and put the fresh air. It's rare. But so then you have to put some clothes on and go. Did you make your clothes? Can you make clothes? Someone else made them for you. And there's loads of people in this world that don't have many clothes. They say, thank you. Is it true or not? You're not just going, I'm going to say thank you as a meditation technique, and you don't believe it. Is it true or not? Did you make your clothes? And what, do you deserve to have them more than someone else who doesn't? Yeah, because you're the special one. Yeah. If you're the special one, you might complain that you want some new clothes, even though you've got a whole wardrobe full. I want something new. I'm getting bored with what I've got. Complaining, unhappy, out of sync with reality. Because you're out of sync, you complain. Because you complain, you're unhappy. Because you're unhappy, you can't see love. You can't see the wonder of the clothes you have and what you have. And you can go outside, but on the way you might want to pat the walls and say, thank you, whoever built this house. And thank you for still giving me shelter. Thank you, I don't live in Iraq where the bombs are falling, or Afghanistan, or one of the African countries where they're dropping bombs or blowing them up. That's happening in the world. But right now, I've still got shelter. Thank you. Then you can, depending on, let's just presume that you're not like an advanced yogi. And just imagine that from this moment on, someone took you and put you on an island with no humans for the rest of your life. No humans, none, no human contact, no internet, no video, nothing, no music, no nothing, but no human contact. Then, when you meet someone in your heart, thank you. Thank you for giving me company. Maybe in these times you get some sense of what it's like not to have company. Thank you. You didn't have to speak to me. Do other people have to speak to you? Maybe they're working or something, but they don't have to work. They could do something else. Thank you. And again, in these times, as corporations try to destroy human family businesses, if you've got a job or a craft that's given you a wage, thank you for letting me go to work, to have work, to get money. Thank you. Thank you. You just go on and on. Did you make toothpaste? Can you make toothpaste? Anybody know how to make toothpaste? Thank you. Someone made it for you. There's not a single thing. My master said, when you have a cup of tea, it's dependent on the kindness of the entire world. It depends on the people who build the boats to transport it, or build the airplanes. It's just interconnected. Everything is interconnected. And your relationship with that interconnectedness depends on your mind. And what you get back from the world is what you're breathing out into it. So if your heart is full of thankfulness, then we see what the world gives back to you. And see if that's different than moaning constantly that you haven't got enough. And check which mind is true. Check if it's true that you should get more, that you're entitled, and check if that's really the way the world is and the way of things. And that in this world there's no suffering, and there shouldn't be. And I should just have my comforts as I want them, and as if the world really does revolve around your ego. Yeah. You have to check. So the spiritual path is not a thing. It's not a meditation. It's not a technique. It's your heart. And it's your life as it unfolds. So, if your life unfolds as complaints and unhappiness, then we can say one way that is your spiritual path. It's a spiritual path of unhappiness. But we can move onto that path of absolute joy. And this is the method, one of the methods I connect with. Thank you. So you just feel grateful for breathing. You feel grateful that you can see. You just feel grateful you exist. And everything, and you kind of savor life. Yeah, this goes into the next foundation, which is life is short. So it's this sense of savoring life, loving the fact that you exist for how long, and that this is a paradise. And those levels of understanding that this is a paradise go deeper and deeper and deeper. In fact, it goes so far that this world is perfect. So one of my teachers, his guru said that to him, this world's perfect. And he's like, oh, you gotta be joking. Perfect? What about coronavirus? What about the corporations? What about the 1%? What about the suffering that's been put in by people locked in? And he's like, can't you see it's perfect? Have you the courage to step away from your humanity and see the way of things? Can you move away from your ego? That small sense of the information that you've got rattling around in your head, to understand the immensity of life and the interconnectedness of all. If you don't understand the interconnectedness of all things, makes you a cup of tea. Never mind the interconnectedness of everyone's soul journey. We move into a different vision of how we can live our life. That's all interesting stuff. It's all interesting stuff that won't really open up to you until you can be happy. Joy, thankful for the small things. We can work on the big things later. So you can either just do the practice because you intuitively sense that's a good thing to do. But if you're on the mind path, then you maybe want to figure out, is that true? You kind of look and investigate. Is it true? You can contemplate it, that a cup of tea is dependent upon the interconnectedness and kindness of all of the entire world. There's a famous statement, we all know it, don't we? If a butterfly flaps its wings, it can produce a hurricane or something, and across the other side of the world. Buddha said it's like this world like a web, and each knot of the web reflects every other part of the web, and you touch one thing, and it connects all other things. It's that interconnected. It's incomprehensible to our minds. Which means that you are absolutely precious. And you are equal to Buddha. In fact, equality has no value. It's one. It's the transcendence of what we understand of equality. So if you hurt someone else, you're hurting yourself. But we may lack the vision to see that at the moment. So we generally rely on guidance. But the guidance is, if you hurt someone else, you hurt yourself. What's the best way not to hurt people? It's to feel grateful that they're your friend. Just thank you. You don't have to talk to me. No one has to talk to you. It's like, and you can't control it. If people decide not to talk to you, they won't talk to you. And what are you going to do then? You're in trouble. You can't make someone like you. It's out of your control. You can try. You can try, can't you? I mean, that's what we do, try. There's books on it, isn't there? How to win people over and influence. But it doesn't matter what you do, and especially if it comes to love, it's out of your hands. So then we go super deep. So every time you see your partner, it's just like, it's like an empowerment. You know, spiritual empowerment? It's when you see your partner. And this inconceivable level of thankfulness that they want to spend a day with you. That they still want to be with. It's like, don't have to. They could leave. They could find someone hotter than me. There's always somebody hotter than you. there's always somebody better looking. This is the Tao. There's always someone taller. There's always someone shorter. There's always someone cleverer. There's always someone smarter. Yeah? No one has a monopoly on, yeah. So we're always above someone and we're always below someone. It's this balance. So you want to be particularly nice and humble to those who are lower than you, because it will reflect back when you're, for those who are higher on you, what you get back. You want to be really careful. Yeah. So we understand that kind of root of control, and when we try and control what kind of stuff can come out of us. So this is the antidote. Yeah? Thank you. Very simple mantra. It's like, thank you, thank you. And if we have a connection to God, you might want to add, thank you, God. Thank you, God. If not, just thank you is enough. Yeah. That's beautiful meditation. With this thankfulness. Eventually, you don't even need to say the word thank you. Just rest in that sense of, just feel grateful. Okay, and that's one thing that melts into that sense of beingness. You're not just, the beingness has this flavour, you can say. That's the first thing. So as you're resting in presence, you're resting in thankfulness. Yeah. This is like what we call like the path of Zen. There's no goal in Zen. The spiritual path isn't goal-oriented. You're already perfect. It's this thankfulness that is just part of pure presence. And you're just thankful that you're present. And by being thankful that you're present, you become present. All those things. It's part of it. It's part of being present, is being grateful and seeing the gifts of existence pouring into you. It's win-win. That's the spiritual path. I think I could sum up the spiritual path. It's win-win. But generally, to get there, I think we say a little edge of pain, maybe we have to kind of go through till we get to that space of joy and love. Yeah. So, thankfulness and a sense of deep friendliness towards yourself. A sense of belonging. If you understand what I'm saying, then you are, like Osho says, you're just as important as the sun. A blade of grass is as important as the sun because it's interconnected. There is no higher or lower value. All is value. And this is the tragedy of our mind when it's out of control. Or it's been given, we've just been filled with wrong information or thoughts. Is that this incredible being that we are gets depressed or down, or nothing can be more tragic and nothing can be more wrong. The feeling that you're not worthy. It's a complete misapprehension of the way things are. As I say, you're already perfect. The spiritual path, you're just realizing what is. You're not becoming something. The mirror of perfection is already there. There's just a layer of dust on top of it. And again, from our confused minds, we can think by cleaning the mirror, we're achieving something. We're trying to achieve something. You're not trying to achieve anything. You already are the mirror. So we just move away one layer of dust, which is complaining, unhappy mind, and just one spot on the mirror. It's the joy of gratitude. Like light just going, it's like, sometimes it can be so overwhelming. You will weep. And so it's a good way to clear out a lot of the stages, to clear out this sense of control. And what comes with a lack of sense of control is tears. That's your real prayer, your tears. That means your heart's moving. If we're afraid of our heart, we won't cry. We'll just maintain control. But you will weep. For many reasons. But so tears are, if you start getting some tears, then you're moving on the path. It's a good sign. Don't look for tears, just one of the signs. That means your heart is moving, you connect. But generally you may weep. And for so many reasons, weep out of sheer the mystery of God. Weep for the pain we've caused, which is just unnecessary, and we just let it out with tears. Weep for the suffering of others. But generally, we weep with joy. And that's generally what happens. You may be so overwhelmed by the beauty of life, you start weeping. Then you know you've got the thankfulness down. It's just like, it's too much. It's too much. Life is too much. It's just too many gifts. It's like, you want to kind of like eat the world, don't you? There's like, we're reading Cast anyway. One of the things, it's like this want to hug at the world. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect. So maybe you don't feel like that just now. So this is what it's like on the path. There you go. Imagine it. You can imagine it. And you wake up and feel that sense of, wow, my goodness. And your complaining mind is just like a dream. Imagine it. Imagine just imagine that meditation you get. Just wake up and go, wow, I'm so glad to be alive. It's like, come on, toast. I love toast. What jam have I got? Strawberry jam. I love strawberry jam. So lucky. I love toast. You get the kettle. It's like, what coffee? Coffee. Whoa, I love coffee. I feel I'm so lucky. I'm gonna listen to some Dharma. So fucking good. So lucky. It's going, it's my mum and dad. I'm so lucky they're still alive. How are you doing today? It's like, wow. It's like you get so happy you can't even look at them because you'll start crying. It's like, it's so beautiful. It's unbelievable. Wow, they gave birth to me. Fuck. Looked after me. Oh man. And there's like friends. Friends. It's like so nice to me all the time. so nice. I get someone to talk to. It's like, oh, I wonder what we can talk about today. It's like, oh, it's like they got some, like if you share a house, they might have some stuff in the bar. But I love the way he arranges the stuff in the bar. It's so unique, so special, so beautiful. It's like a mandala. It's like, I'm so lucky I could see someone else and be so honoured that they would share a bathroom with me. How unbelievably lucky. And you think, oh my God, they cook food with me and break food with me. Oh man, so maybe they make me laugh or smile. It's like, it's unbearable. Life. First stage of the spiritual path. Like that. No? Thank you. Just thank you. The next one stage in terms of like motivation is like, this could be my last day that I'll ever do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for giving me another day of life. You can stack it up. Ferrari, but you're dead in an hour, or another day of life. Pick anything in the world and see which one compares. Having it for an hour or another day of life, where you can exist, breathe and perceive the universe. Nothing will stack up. This could be the last one, so what are you going to do with it? You know, this is like, what are you going to do with it? I'm going to love everyone. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to love everyone. I'm going to love everyone because where am I going? I don't know, but I want to go out and love. And I know that if I love everyone and everything in my life, I'll have no regrets. This is the Dharma. Yeah, this is the spirit. I'll have none. What will I regret if I'm kind and loving and joyful? What will I regret? I won't. I'll be like, God will come down and be like, whoa. I'm ready to go. Or you're ready to die and it's just all that comes up is the horrible things you did to people. It's like, and God's just showing you how, in that moment, you'll see how horrible you were. And you had the choice not to be like that, but you chose to be horrible. It's like, were you open to God's love? And you just like, I'm so ashamed. So a lot of people die like that. You know, lots of fears, lots of, you know, not threatening. Yeah. It's like, so, you know, we asked a couple of questions. Are you going to die? Right, so that's the that's the prophecy. My prophecy, and again, I'm a gambling man. I'll put 50 quid down on that you're going to die at some point in your life. So we're talking about something that's actually going to happen. Yeah. Well, we're not talking about you might never have another partner again or whatever. But so we just mentioned something that's definitely going to happen. That's why we use it. So we use it very skillfully, and that's how we use the knowledge of our death to live life beautifully. That's why we use it. If you overthink about death, you'll become miserable and depressed and afraid, and it's just pointless. We contemplate the fact that we're going to die, to fill our hearts with love, wonder, joy for the time that we are here. Yeah, because it's just too short to spend time complaining. Imagine you did die today and you just spent your last day on earth moaning and complaining. who wants to go out? You wouldn't want to go out like that. Actually, would you want to go out like that? It's like, no one wants to go out like that. So if you find yourself, this is how we practice. If you find yourself drifting into madness and moaning and complaining, then we bring in our practice. In this particular one, we go, oh my goodness, what am I doing? It's like, I need to be thankful for that I've got a stereo instead of moaning because it's not playing properly for 10 seconds. Like the internet's slow for a couple of seconds, and instead of blowing up in complaints, I need to go, oh, hey, 30 years ago, there was no internet. They had to listen to the radio or to get a new song. So it's like, I think I can go without for an hour. I can do that. I've got that capacity. It's like, get your spiritual juju on, go, I can go for an hour with the internet down without going into a rage or moaning about the providers. You with me? So when we find ourselves drifting and we observe ourselves being unhappy, we think, oh, it's too short, life's too short. Let me be happy. So that's officially the time, but if anybody's got any questions or anything come up, we will just do 10 minutes max. It's actually warm in here. It's nice, isn't it?
Just wanted to say thank you for exclamation marks.
Talila? Yeah. That's it, nailed already. Straight in. So you're thankful that you're thankful. Then you're on a winning wheel. I'm thankful about that, and I'm thankful that I'm... What a mystery. Is Raheem typing these?
He said not from him or Lois. Not from him or Lois. He said they don't have any questions.
Ah. Okay.
Leila's typing.
Oh.
Lol, yes.
Yes. That's the next mantra. Yes. Yeah. That's the essence of Tantra. Yes. That's the essence of patience. Yes. It's the essence of surrender. Yes. It's the essence of wonder. Yes. It's the essence of servitude. Yes. We can sum up. So nirvana is yes, and the ego is no. There you go. Spiritual path is the two words, yes and no, and it's overcoming no to go to yes. Get those down and you're done. Give me a check. So for this few days, try thankfulness. Do that meditation if you want. It's a good place to hold the belly, especially if you're feeling afraid. And again, simple things on the spiritual path can be very profound. We can like intellectual things, but actually just holding your belly, rubbing your belly, holding your belly can bring you back. Very simple way. So if you know Sufism, then that's where you start from, the belly. Or as Master, actually, if you start with losing control, Allah, what's it like when you lose control? Okay, I give up. That's the first time, I give up. And then hold your belly and be, pa, true to yourself. Okay, so God bless, and thank you for listening to me ramble.